Zenkaikon 2023, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Zenkaikon was a multi-genre convention held from March 24th through 26th, 2023 at the Lancaster County Convention Center in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Let's see how they did. I do have a conflict of interest here. I have a relationship with this convention. I'm part of a panels group that had featured panelist status, and I know a lot of people who run this convention. For the good, the registration, again, very simple. Zenkaikon nails their registration every year. It's very simple. It's very efficient. They do great work here. Zenkaikon fixed their video game room this year. They moved it to a larger space. They brought in people to run it, and it was a major success. This room was maybe not always crowded, but was always busy. I liked the selection of things they had in here. They did great work. Offering Thursday programming, including the video game room being open, was a good choice. It got people into the convention, it gave them something to do, gave them a reason to show up a little bit early. There was a problem with Thursday, though, I will talk about later. Zenkaikon did something interesting this year. They did not have a con booklet, but they continued with the paper schedule, and actually the paper schedule was really efficient. It gave you all the information you needed, roughly, in just one piece of paper that you could easily fold up and put in your back pocket. The paper schedule worked. I liked the digital signage. I thought it was very effective. It was placed at key points around the convention, along with maps of the convention venue, and I think the combination of these worked together really, really well. I thought Zenkaikon's convention staff again this year did an excellent job. They have one of the most reliable convention staffs on this con circuit that I've seen, and they just keep doing great work. Finally, I appreciated that the convention named their Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament after Josh. Josh was a good guy. He was on their staff a lot of years, and unfortunately suddenly passed away, and I thought it was a nice tribute to him. Good job, Zenkaikon. There was nothing downright bad at this year's Zenkaikon. Good job. For the ugly, what should have been better? PR of Thursday kind of got lost in the overall scheme of things. They needed to push that there was going to be more Thursday content. It very much went under the radar, and I strongly suspect some people did not know things were going on at the con on Thursday. The new guidebook app is a little bit awkward at times to get the installation. I want to give you a perspective of a friend of mine who is a security expert. He absolutely refused to download the customized guidebook app Zenkaikon had till he saw he absolutely needed it, and I understand his perspective on that. Now for me, I thought it was a little bit weird to download it. At first, I didn't quite understand the download, and it ended up being a separate app installation, which was fine. But then you also had to download the guide for the convention, which was a separate download that I did not do until I arrived on site. Not a big deal, but I thought the guidebook was awkward this year, unfortunately. Let's talk about how messed up the elevator keys were for the West Tower. How it used to work is one person would swipe their room key, you select multiple floors, super easy. Unfortunately now, you could select one floor with one room key swipe, and it really didn't work. I would love to get the convention to have the hotel disable that feature of the elevators, because it just wasn't efficient. The Marriott has done one of the stupidest renovations to really good hotel rooms I've ever seen. These rooms used to be really, really nice, and they were pretty simple. This renovation was just, it's junk, because the floor tiling is almost pulling up in some of these rooms already. This is the room I was in, and we actually had water leaking out of a floor tile. Don't ask me how. I reported it to the front desk. It did not affect our overall experience. What is a really concerning thing, however, is these barn door bathroom doors that just offer no privacy. They offer no sound blocking. They have no locks. What a terrible hotel to install these. I mean, what a mess. And boy, I hope you really like pooping with friends, as my friend group would say. Artist Alley had a walkway spacing issue. Now, the dealer's room and Artist Alley are combined at Zenkaikon, but at the very far right side of the room, there is the Artist Alley area, and there's a super narrow walkway. I do not know what went wrong here with the measuring of this room, but this walkway is just too narrow. And one of the problems I had, my friend and I were talking to a table, and literally we got pinned against that table. I'm 6 foot tall, he's 6'2", and we were a little concerned because it was getting real tight there, and it was very unpleasant. And it sounds like from closing ceremonies, they are going to relook at the whole layout of this place. This needs to be fixed. It was not safe. Zenkaikon had a Saturday content issue. Normally, I would not bring this up as it's very much in personal taste, but within my own group of friends and other people I talk to at conventions, this came up a lot. The first issue was, if you really liked the convention theme this year, Saturday was good. If you didn't like the convention's theme, you had a room con going on, and that's not good. There was also way too many events that were long, multiple hour events that could have probably been shortened to allow more content to be presented. One of the comments I had with somebody I was speaking to about the content was they said, Zenkaikon was a great one-day convention, except they were there for 3 days. That's a problem. It felt like they did front-load a lot of stuff on Friday that probably need to be somehow worked in on Saturday to allow a greater diversity of content. One of my friends gave a little bit of a radical suggestion. Maybe limit one room for theme-specific content to allow other things to occur during that time at the convention. It seems the area around the convention center had a noticeable degradation, more closed businesses, and a lot more homeless people hanging around. Be aware, I have nothing against homeless people. It's very, very tough. They need help, and our country doesn't do the best job with it. But what has me worried is there's a lot of young attendees at this event, and a lot of times they do leave the convention center to go find food. They didn't seem to be too pushy, the homeless people, but I am worried you have one problem, and there ends up being a newspaper article. The news ends up being there. And I think one of the things Lancaster might have to look into is bringing more security into the area for when Zenkaikon is in town. Overall, a lot of the changes Zenkaikon made worked well this year. That video gaming room was one of the biggest things they've needed to do for years. Unfortunately, Saturday's schedule really didn't work in my opinion. They lacked a lot of depth there. I think you had to really, really like the convention's theme to enjoy Saturday. I'm giving the convention a B. They're one of the most stable, reliable conventions I attend every year. I love attending Zenkaikon, and I cannot wait to be back next year. Thanks for watching.